Starting to take the blower apart. Gotta remove these screws and get this off so I get the gear out of there. So I got a shim that was there. Here's a gear. So you had two shims. The copper one was down on this surface. And that lets us get this gear out. Okay, we're taking the blower apart now. We lifted that out of here. And I took this off of the rear half of the crankcase. This is the O-ring that was around here that sealed the collector to the crankcase. Same thing. Brittle. Snaps. Also, these plugs work loose. You could spin them with your fingers. Those work loose and they shouldn't be. You see where they staked them to try to hold them in there. I think these are mainly to be able to get in there and clean it out. So here's your impeller after I cleaned it up. I took the inducer wheel and smoothed out those nicks and gouges that were on the leading edges. Should be just fine. We'll balance it all once we put it on the shaft. Here's another example of the O-rings, how they got hard and cooked. This is sealing oil passages or whatever. Pretty important. O-rings. Hard as can be and breaking all apart. So that's one reason they want you to overhaul these every 20 years or so. This has a groove in here that the O-ring fits down in, and then you set the crankcase half down over it. So Dave's setting up to check the balance on the impeller.
Trying to put like 600 RPM. So it's a little bit out. This maximum is 0.02 ounce inches, and this one's at 3, so we're a little bit all we can do is
We're thinking this bushing is probably gonna have to be replaced in the back of the prop shaft. It's too big diameter. It was pretty grooved up. I think he cleaned it up with some Scotch-Brite since I saw it last, but it definitely showed some signs of abuse. So that's probably what might have got hammered in the landing. The shaft is straight, half a thousandths I think run out, but probably gonna have to get this bushing machined out and another one put in and honed out. The crankshaft looks much better since he just cleaned it up with some Scotch-Brite. It looked pretty gnarly when we took it out, but it looks fine now. Measures good. Here's a little piece of history. This is a Curtiss-Wright R3350 turbo compound off of a airliner. These engines had 3 turbochargers in the exhaust system, and they had fluid couplers or torque converters between that and the crankshaft, and they put their power directly into the crankshaft, and I think this added about 400 horsepower if I remember right. The cowlings are clamshells. There's like the upper left cowling and there's the lower one, so they just spread apart so you could work on the engine. These 3350s are basically two 1820s stuck together. This is what you had to have if your airplane was gonna be economical, actually, back in the prop airliner days before the jets took over. So it had 3 of these exhaust driven turbochargers. Most turbochargers compress air to go to the carburetor, but this blower made enough power they didn't need that. So they just put the power from the turbos back into the crankshaft. Here's your turbocharger and a shaft going up into the engine there to put the power back directly to the crankshaft. Two big old oil coolers. I don't know the specific horsepower on this engine. I think they were about 3,600, so you actually had more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch, which is pretty unheard of.